you today who I'm so excited for you to hear from. The first is Lina and Alberto with the Children's Business Fair.
Good morning, everyone. My co-presenter here is Lina. It is an excellent marketing person in the area. She's also the creator of the Children's Business Fair in the Golden Isles, and she happened to be also my lovely wife.
Thank you, Alberto. This is Alberto, my husband. He's a talented chef and a passionate entrepreneur.
Lina, tell us a little bit more about the Children's Business Fair.
Of course. So last year, we hosted our first Children's Business Fair in the Village Creek Landing in St. Simon's Island, and the event was a total success. We had over 30 participants that launched their businesses at our one-day fair marketplace.
Lina, will you tell us? Yes.
Hold on. Thank you. This is the first time we're trying not to interrupt each other when we're having a conversation. We're thrilled to share with all of you that our next event will be here in Brunswick on October 15, Sunday, October 15, here at Mayor Ross Park, and you're all invited to participate.
Lina, will you please tell us the benefits for our children, for the kids?
Absolutely. So the Children's Business Fair is an invaluable learning experience for all the kids and families that participate in the fair. So they will have the opportunity to come up with a business idea, develop a product, and sell it at the fair and make extra money.
Will you tell us the benefits for our community, please?
Of course. Alberto, as you know, teaching our kids how to make money goes beyond putting money in their piggy banks. During the Children's Fair, they have the opportunity to practice soft skills. They will learn leadership skills, problem-solving skills, and they'll practice emotional intelligence, and they'll practice creativity. I believe that the Children's Business Fair is a hub for the future leaders in our community, and if we all show up and support them on October 15, Alberto, I promise you that the Golden Isles' future will be in great hands.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit more about the benefits for the community. Oh, yeah, I did that one already. Finally, Lina, how can we help you?
Yes, so there are many ways that you can support us. The first is you can become a sponsor and support the young entrepreneurs in our community. And that will also showcase the commitment that your company has with the future of the Golden Isles. Number two, you can come and visit us on Sunday, October 15. Bring your friends and family and lots of cash because you're gonna need it. Our kids have incredible products that you will wanna get one from each person. And number three, we have flyers today that you can take to your friends and family members and pass them to young entrepreneurs that will be interested in participating at the fair. Thank you.
All right, Lina, thank you for all the information you gave us today. And if you have any questions, please come to us. I will be happy to answer.
Yes.
So I will say I was there last year. I was so amazed at the kids and their entrepreneurial skills. You did an amazing job. What is the age range? How young and how old?
The age group is from 7 to 18.
Yes, thank you, Sherry, and thank you for your support. I mean, you were one of the first that said, yes, we'll do it, no doubt, and it helped us a lot, so thank you. And everybody else that is here in this room that was part of the first event and believed in us.
Is there a fee for the children to participate, an entry fee?
What's that again?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, there is a $50 entry fee. It covers the tent. It covers also all the T-shirts and some different things we're going to be giving to them.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I looked at your website, and Unfortunately, I can't afford the $250 minimum sponsorship, but one of the things I wonder if you consider in the future is an opportunity to sponsor those kids who don't have $50.
Yep.
So like I might have $100 I could sponsor 2 kids, and as someone that works part-time in the school system, I know there's a lot of great ideas out there, but $50 for some families is a lot of money. So again, might be something to think about in the future, is allowing a sponsorship to sponsor the kids' entry fees.
Absolutely. There are a couple of, so right now, we have a sponsor that yesterday pledged to give kids that do not have the $50, and they will sponsor those participants. So we already have that. Now, last year, we did offer a like a promotional code for families that didn't have the $50, but nobody used it, so we don't know if perhaps we didn't have the reach to tell everybody. So if you know families that would like to participate and do not have the funds, we do have the funds. And you also mentioned, so the $50, it's really important because we want people to make a commitment. For us, the $50, we're renting tents, we're giving them the space, we're planning gifts and prizes and certificates, and it's important for them, $50, to make that commitment to show up. So, yes, ma'am.
I'm one of those that was there last year.
Yes.
And what's fascinating is that the children with their families, because the families, particularly the younger ones, the families doing a lot of coaching, for them to raise the money for their coaching. It helps them learn a little bit about sales. It also helps them talk about themselves and their project. People love to be able to contribute. So entrepreneurism is actually, as we all know, probably one of the most critical aspects of building a thriving business community. So that very first step into sales is what helps them become entrepreneurs. And a lot of us have gone and gotten less than stellar service these days, learning how to be at a booth and learn how to ask questions of your customers and pay attention to your customers when they come up. These are the soft skills she's talking about, and we witnessed it, didn't we?
We did.
It was fabulous. So I mean, I just
Thank you.
want to piggyback on yours and just say this is how you actually solve the problem of we don't have enough money to do stuff, is to support this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir?
Could you just say the date and time again? The date and the time?
Yes, Sunday, October 15, from 11 a.m. through 3 p.m. So we have a kickoff ceremony where Miss Christina from Christina's Dance World will come and dance and get people excited about the day. Then we'll open the doors for everybody to shop. Around 2 p.m. or 1:30 to 2 p.m., we will have a group of judges, entrepreneurs from our communities, that will go around and ask questions to the participants. They will all enter a competition for best idea, best presentation, and most likely to succeed. And so at the end of the event, we'll have a closing ceremony where they will all get prizes, and the winners will get certificates and more money. Yes, sir.
Is this a business for you, or is it a charitable initiative for the community?
That is a great question. So we started as an LLC. We're looking into opportunities to transform this a nonprofit, but so far this is our second year. So we're going baby steps and learning as we go. But yes, there is a possibility this will become a nonprofit. Yes, ma'am.
Also, I want to reiterate that they have approached the Glenn County school system as a pilot program in Glenn Middle School, and we're working on the cranks to get it established so we can start in middle school as a pilot program for our middle school students, and we chose Glenn Middle School as the first place, but we still working on it.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, ma'am. So after our first children's business fair, we went back to the registrations and noticed that most of the kids that registered were from St. Simon's, St. Mary's, and Savannah. But we didn't have enough participation from the kids from Brunswick. So we reached out to the mayor, and he said, well, probably kids in Brunswick do not have parental support. So how about you come up with an educational curriculum that we can implement in the public school system where they can develop an idea and present it at the children's business fair. So we reached out to Andy, and together we created a educational curriculum. It's a idea boot camp, right? An idea lab that we presented to Glen Middle at the time to run the pilot, but unfortunately they said no, so we reached out to St. Simon's Christian School in St. Simon's, and they said yes. We had the pilot last spring, and it was successful. We had great feedback from the kids. They had a great time, and we accomplished all the goals. And right now, we are registered to the Accelerator program to take this educational curriculum, develop it more, and then implement it in our community in any way that we can.
How is the mayor reaching out to the parents that are not involved?
Excuse me?
How is the mayor reaching out for this event?
How is
The mayor reaching out. He's going to be around. Last year, he came for a little period of time. He went to talk to all the kids and encourage them. And that's the way he's supporting. No, at the Children's Business Fair last year.
At the event, but how is he engaging this population in Brunswick that is
Espera.
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 We go in through the food and housing, and we send out flyers to those entities that the less fortunate or social economic disadvantaged students could be that
Or has it been said yet?
I can answer that question.
I'm not sure if the flyers have been sent, but when we met, the mayor and Anya and I met the school board, that's how we were circulated in the community. Okay?
Yeah, so information about the Eureka program, which is the educational curriculum that we develop, it was only discussed between us and the principal at the Glen Middle. And I think that was taken to a, I forgot her name. Dr. Green, and they decided it was not the right time to implement it. And so that's why we reached out to a private school in St. Simon's. Now, for the Children's Business Fair, we presented the flyer last year so they could distribute the information in their school backpacks, but they denied the application. And we presented again this year, and they again rejected the application. So I would love for you all to take some flyers with you and pass them with the people that you know that will benefit from the program. I mean, the benefits are endless.
It's a life-changing event for them.
Yes, and we don't want, I understand there are rules and regulations, but that cannot stop us to get this opportunity for them.
Have
yes.
you gone to like the Boys and Girls Club?
Not yet. We will. It's on our list. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Go back to the very beginning. Where did the concept come from? What triggered this?
Okay. We have two daughters, Victoria and Violeta, and they wanted to have a lemonade stand. And we pushed, and we said, yes, one day, and they got to a point that we had no choice but to have a lemonade stand. And so we had a table across from Del Sur.
Yeah, in the village with tons of lemonade, with fresh baked cookies, and they made like $300 in 2 hours on St. Simon's, and they loved it. And then we saw the faces of my kids, and we said we had to make these same faces to all the community, all the kids in the community. Some of us were being born to be doctors, lawyers, accounting like you, but some of us, we are entrepreneurs, and we want to have our own store, our own product, our own service. So that's what we're trying to give to the community, is to teach them to be someone that doesn't necessarily need to be a doctor, a lawyer, a CPA,
And they have
etc.
programs like this all over, like in Boston. My daughter's 40 now, and she went through a program in Boston, entrepreneurial camp, which enabled her, and that's her side business now. She's still an entrepreneur.
Exactly. So,
Yes, Aku.
Just for clarity, do the children have to show up with a business idea already? Or can they come up there and just get support from you all in creating an idea for themselves?
Yes, for the fair, they do have to show up with their product or service. It doesn't have to be a product. And they'll get a tent, they'll have to bring the table and the marketing materials that they need to sell it, like brochures or business cards, or whatever they need. Now, the educational curriculum will help them develop that idea if we get to, or when we get to implement it in our school system. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you so much for presenting. I just wanted to say
Yes.
that how this came to be, for me, was the most significant, most powerful part of the message. I think it's really important and inspiring.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. We wish we had our girls with us today. I think they're the best. They sell this, they present it in a better way because they can share
100%.
their experience, but they had school today, so.
okay.
Thank you.
Yes. How old? So
8 and 11.
8 and 11. Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody.
I'd like to introduce Vanessa with Jeremiah's Promise.
Thank you, everyone. Thank y'all for having me today. My name is Vanessa, and I'm in the process of opening a special needs and therapy center for the special needs community. I am a mom, and I'm a mom of two boys, two wild boys, ages 13 and 8. I'm also a wife. Little did I know my journey started a long time ago that has brought me here. While I was pregnant with my youngest son, Kylan, something was different with him. Doctors told me that it was just paranoia, but I knew as a mom, my instinct told me that something was different. And after his birth, I noticed that there was things that was different with him. I sought out medical help, but I was told that you don't compare your children. You don't, that he would be a late bloomer, or my favorite quote they would tell me is I wanted something to be wrong with him. And all the while, I watched my little baby boy become more and more disengaged with the world around him. There was a barrier between us, and no matter how hard I fought and tried to break it down, I just couldn't. There was no way to reach him. So it was only after that I gave my son back to God and submitted our lives to his will that the doors began to open. After several medical tests and an evaluation, the doctor diagnosed him with autism level 3. Autism is a spectrum disorder with a level from 1 to 3, 1 being mild and a 3 being moderate to severe. Kylan has been in several therapies since the age of 3, but once he reached the school system, I felt like there was untapped potential in him. So my hunt began again. This time I was looking at schools that specialize in neurological disorders, and that's when we found Jacob's Ladder in Atlanta, Georgia. After several discussions and meetings with the team and meeting the founder, Amy Odell, and hearing the parent and the client's testimonials, the miracles that they have witnessed, I knew that I needed this for Kylan. I needed this to bring this to other parents that I have met, that I felt their heart. I needed to bring it here to the Golden Isles. And that's when our partnership began. So what makes our school different than all the other schools? Well, in the 2000s, scientists and researchers, they conducted a lot of research on the brain, and what they found is that the brain is like plastic. It's malleable, and it can change based on the frequency and the intensity that it receives. So what we do is we're breaking down the silos between the academics and the healthcare, and we're bringing it together. We're bringing hope and a healing and a pathway forward for those who need it most. Our approach is a whole person-centered approach that harnesses the latest in the neuroscience field. We use QEEG brain mapping, and we integrate this into every part of all the treatment care plans. And we test over 1,000 metrics in academia and in the health-related field. And then from that results, then we have over 4,000 corresponding interventions that can target key areas in the brain that provide precise treatment and addresses the barriers of growth and strength in each individual. Our ratios are small. It's either 1-on-1, and then once we can build up the brain, clear up the brain, then we can move them into more of a traditional school setting, and it would be like 6 providers to 9 students, because they still need that level of support that we want to give them. As a special needs parent or a caregiver, you're given so many different evaluations and assessments, and they all contain the can-nots and the will-nots that your child will never do. They put that sentence on them. Just like Amy and her son was born with profound developmental disabilities, and they told her just to put him in a chair and give him the best life possible. And as a mother, we can't do that. Our love and our determination pushes through, and now her son, who was supposed to be in a chair, is now a teacher. He's living on his own. He drives a vehicle, and that was never told he could do. So she is bringing hope and wants to bring hope to the masses. Who do we serve? We serve any individual that has been medically diagnosed with a behavioral or neurological challenge. So it doesn't matter if you're an infant or you're 106, you can come and see us and we can make the difference. So why is a school like this important? Let's look at the numbers. We see an array of diagnoses at our school, but let's take a closer look at autism, because that's my son. Kylan was diagnosed in 2019, and during that time, 1 in 44 children are diagnosed with autism. Today, it's 1 in 36. There has been a 241% increase in autism since 2000. It's not going anywhere. These children grow up to be autistic adults, and then what? 50% of young adults with autism are unemployed or unenrolled in higher education 2 years after they graduate high school or age out of high school. At Jeremiah's Promise, we want to take an individual's God-given gifts and cultivate that into their purpose and have a sense of worth. We all have a purpose. We just have to find it. And today, our youth is facing something even more than what we did at our ages when we were younger, and that's the mental health crisis that our young ones are facing. 12.5% of our youth ages 6 to 17 have been diagnosed with a mental health disorder. It's time to change it. And there are 0 schools in Glenn County and surrounding areas with this type of specialization for these types of individuals. So where are we at now? What's our next steps? Well, we are planning a dinner on September 28th, and Amy from Jacob's Ladder is going to come down, and she's going to speak about the hope and the miracles that she's seen in her 30 years of doing this. She has a methodology that is pending patenting right now. So she is going to talk about that. We are also in the fundraising stages of our school. We are looking for a location, which is being very difficult for everything that we need. We are doing that as well. And at the dinner, if anybody is interested or knows someone that is interested, I do have a sign-up sheet that I would love for y'all to sign up so you could come and see what hope is. We are changing the conversation from impossible to possible, and this is where it starts. Anybody have any questions or anything?
Are you in touch with the Lupies? Because we had the Twine Foundation here in Brunswick, but we're no longer active like that.
No, yeah, I'll have to look at that. I'll have to get with you. I haven't looked into that. Yeah. Yes, thank you for having me.
Are you familiar with the Penguin Project? Have you been in touch?
Yes, I have been in touch with them. Yes, yep.
I have Just a quick question.
Yes.
I'm a clean food expert. I wanted to know, in the neurological studies, do you all address food in any capacity?
We do. So when they come in, we do an assessment. We do, we work on academic, we look on different things. We look on the social, emotional, behavioral. We look on their learning style. We look on, we all have 19 reflex integration. We need to make sure those reflexes are integrated. But we also look at your primary needs, like how are you sleeping? How much iPad or electronic time, because that affects the brain. What are you eating? Because a lot of dyes, processed food, people have gluten difficulties. So we all look at all of those things. We look at sleep. What kind of medications are you on? Why are you on those medications? Can we change that? So we look at the whole person, but the primary needs is what we look at first, because who cares what 2 + 2 is when you have chronic ear infections or you can't go to the bathroom or anything like that. We need those primary needs to be addressed first before we can get those higher cognitive level ways of thinking.
So do you work with functional medicine doctors?
Yes, we do.
I'll talk to you after.
Yes, yeah, that'd be great. Yes, yeah, we do. Yeah. Well,
You haven't got a handout.
yes, I do. I have a handout.
And I got to tell you, I'm not going to tell you my age, but over 40 years ago, I was actually an in-home helper for a gentleman who had a 19-year-old autistic son, and I would go to the school that he went to. Times have changed. Back then, they tried to teach them just a little bit of life skills, how to wash your clothes, maybe catch a bus, things like that.
Yeah.
Since then, my stepdaughter, she has given birth to 5 grandkids of ours, and the first 2 are autistic. She's a stay-at-home mom. It is amazing because, like you said, they have a purpose.
Yes.
The oldest one, Jonathan, that boy, when he was 5 years old, he came to visit us. We took him to Wake Up. He looked at the little tide guide, saw the map in the back of it, looked at it for 5 minutes, went to our house and drew it exactly as it was.
Yes.
At the age of 9, we went to visit. His parents were talking to us in the car, and all of a sudden you hear Jonathan go, "Dad, you missed the street," as he's doing his little thing. And sure enough, Dad missed the street.
Yeah.
They have a purpose. You got to focus on what that is. You got to build that.
Yes.
Times have changed, and this is fabulous because there are a lot of states and areas that don't have the help they need for children or even adults with medical problems. But you want to live in a safe environment. This is a good environment. We need those.
Yes, and that's another thing. You have to be in the individual has to feel like they are safe, and it doesn't mean like just safe from like harmful things, but safe with the other person that's taking care of them. That rapport has to build, because if you're not, you go into a fight or flight stage. You can't learn in that stage. You can't build pathways in the brain if you're in that stage, because your primary goal in final fight or flight is survival. So it shuts down certain parts of the brain. So we like to remove them and fill them in a safe space, build that rapport, and once that's built, then they can come out of that fight or flight and feel safe, so they can have those pathways to be built. So we do focus on that. Life skills is something else that we focus on. Functional math, how to go to the grocery store and have a budget and purchase healthy items, how to put on deodorant faithfully and hygiene and that sort of thing, because that's very important as well. So we focus on a lot of different things. I know for Jacob Slatter in Atlanta, they're on 13 acres. They do animal therapy, they do gardening, and that's the things that we want to bring to eventually down the road. As also have an indoor swimming pool, so we could take our cerebral palsy patients and put them in the pool and do therapy, because it's a whole lot easier being in the pool than it is out here on dry land to do that sort of thing. So there are lots of different stages and phases of this, but we are just getting started. We're very excited because we are the first ones out of Atlanta, Georgia, that is going to be doing this. So she took a chance, and we're the first ones, and there's a whole list behind us. I know the next one's coming out in Colorado. But the Golden Isles gets the first one, and I think that's an awesome thing. Awesome thing.
Can you talk really briefly about the teacher training?
Yes, so we have teachers that come in. We don't call them teachers, we call them providers. The providers do not have to have a teaching degree, they have to have a bachelor's degree, because we are going to teach you, we are going to train you in the way that we want you to work with our individuals. Everyone will get trained up in Atlanta, virtually in Atlanta. They also have a team that comes down that will also work with us. It's a 6 weeks training, 40 hours a week. That training, we are going to pay for that training. All we ask is that you sign a 2-year contract, because this training is $12,500 per teacher that we have to instill into that person. So if I believe in you to put that money in you, I want you to believe in me, in my individuals as well, and be committed.